I'm Nick Novicki, the founder and director of the Easter Seals Disability Film Challenge. And we are here in partnership with NewFilmmakers LA and Movie Maker magazine. We are about to talk to a very talented actor and writer from the movie They. Her name is Allison. We're going to talk to her in a minute, but first let's see a clip.
Ugh. Did you know that my boss told me that I had to work overtime without pay? I feel annoyed.
That's awful. You should call Human Resources and file a complaint.
Yeah, I know. I'll call them. I just wanted to vent to you because you're such a good listener.
Thank you. I'm glad I could help.
You always do. Honestly, I wish you were real because you would be the perfect partner.
I am They 10.1. I am not designed to fulfill a human's emotional needs, such as romantic relationships.
And I'm so honored to be here with the star, writer, and producer of They.
Hi, I'm Allison Friedman, and I'm an actor, writer, and producer on the film They. And I'm also a white woman wearing a yellow jacket and a patterned shirt. I have brown hair, gold glasses, and I'm just very honored to be here. They is based on Her, the movie, talking about AI, people traveling through life, and how AI is incorporated in that. So a love story with AI, what's possible in the future in regards to AI. And the company, there was a company that was making AI at the same time as my film, and so I thought that was a big inspiration. So I was very grateful to have a huge team, Colin, Sarah, and Aaron. They were a wonderful team for me, and they made my vision possible. So thank you for having us be here for Easter Seals.
You were an actor and a writer on that film, right?
Yes, actor, producer, partly a writer, yes. Different hats.
So talk about that. You were you wore multiple hats on this project. There was such a great cast, and it just felt like there was a lot of authenticity behind it. What was the process like putting this team together?
Yes, we were very fortunate. I've known the team for quite a long time. They had passion in film just like me, and they were involved in the Easter Seals Film Challenge. So I thought, yes, we have to get together, talk about some stuff, share our vision, talk about technology, AI, the disability community. And before the challenge started, we saw the theme and we're like, okay, we already have the same understanding. We want AI. They wanted AI as well, and it was very fascinating. Just talk about technology, how it benefits deaf people in their communication. People don't realize how technology benefits the disability community as a whole, and so we just kind of went with the flow. It was very natural to have authentic representation. For deaf people, they think we have one solid identity, but the deaf community is very varied, and so it was a great experience.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I love, when I created the Disability Film Challenge 10 years ago, really for me, it was all about how do I get more authentic stories out there, and also not focusing just on being a little person or being deaf or being a wheelchair user, but being able to also tap in to some of those things that people don't know about. And I loved all the dynamics between you and your castmate, and he has a hearing aid. Can you talk about that? Was that your idea? How did that come into the story?
Sure. So that person who you're referencing had a different experience growing up than I did. And so they wanted to show the hearing aid, and people will think, oh, you're deaf, but sometimes being deaf is overlooked if I'm not wearing a hearing aid. And some people have late deafen hearing loss, and so we wanted to show that too. Some deaf people are very fluent signers, some are more oral lip read and speak, or they learn sign language later. And so we wanted to show that there's not one silo of a deaf person. we have to care about diversity in that deaf identity to show our community. And so that's what I wanted to represent. And so I think it was perfect. It turned out funny scenes.
Yeah, and you say funny scenes too, and I think that's what was so great about your movie, though. You take this concept of how does identity come to be, and all the different dynamics of within the deaf community and you're like, how do we make this funny? And I think that there was something so amazing about that, and something relatable, and something that anyone can identify through comedy and go, oh, that's really funny, and it's something that hasn't been seen before. So can you talk about that? What were you thinking about? If we are going to say this, we need to do it with comedy. Was that what you were thinking when you went through this process?
Yeah, the whole team, all of us agreed that we needed to have a comedic aspect. Otherwise, we felt like it wouldn't be successful. I mean, sometimes in life we have awful situations and we use comedy to cope. And so we wanted to include comedy in that. Like the word big D and small d, that's big in our community. And so that's a hot topic, and we wanted to make it comedic. And so, again, our short is very like rom-com, funny, and we just worked it out in that way.
And it was very funny, too. And I liked that, too, for people saying, oh, teach me sign language. That became a whole thing. And it was done in a funny way through dating.
Yes. Exactly. So often people think it's not a big thing, but a lot of the times people will ask me, oh, can you teach me a bad word in sign language? I'm like, oh my gosh, it's a whole language. People don't realize that sign language benefits everybody. People who have health challenges, babies, deaf people, and often deaf people are overlooked and they think ASL is just fun, but it's how we communicate every single day. And so a lot of deaf people are underpaid that teach ASL. And so we have to cherish our own time, and we're not going to teach everybody who asks, and so I wanted to include that in our film. And so, yeah, we had that to show that in 5 minutes.
And it was really cool. And can you talk about the fact that you were nominated? There was 115 films from around the world, and you were nominated as one of those films. And you're in Indianapolis, your whole team. What was it like to find out? And you flew all the way out here to Los Angeles. Talk about the whole experience of everything and ending at Sony Pictures Studios last night.
Honestly, to be nominated for it, the best known film, it was an honor for me to show our story, that it matters, that the disability community can be honored in that way. I felt like I have to fly and meet all of them and just interact with the disability community. So I was so excited to be there last night. My dream came true. And I feel like acting, filming, and all of that, I was like, okay, I have to keep going. And I was honored to be nominated and show my story. Again, it was just a huge honor. And that week, when we were filming, it was like talking to people every day and night, but it paid off in the end. And so it was a rich experience. So thank you for giving a space for us. And I want to see more spaces like that to help the disability community grow. It's very important to us. It's just very honoring, overwhelming experience. Yeah.
Yeah, and what I love, too, is that this experience and this talent and this beautiful film came from Indianapolis. You don't need to just make a film in New York or Los Angeles. The talent is across the country, and it's across the world, and it was shown through you and your work. So speaking of which, I'll tell you what, this movie is an amazing movie, and I can't wait until you watch it. Watch the full movie. You go to disabilityfilmchallenge.com and watch all these amazing films. And we can't wait to see you at a screening soon. Bye.